Hello friends and welcome back to my channel. My name is Alicia and today I'm doing an if you like this book, try this other book video. This concept is definitely not a new concept. I've seen a lot of these videos going around. I always think they're really fun and I had the idea to do it kind of more like a rapid fire. So what I did is I took the titles of all 87 books I've read so far this year, put them in an Excel spreadsheet. I'm going to use a random number generator to generate a number. I will go to that slot on my Excel spreadsheet and I will use that book to say, if you like this book, try this other book. I have read some books this year that I don't think are very popular, so what I'm going to try to do if I get a book that's not super popular is name a book that is more well-known, so that if you have read the more well-known book, you can get an idea that you might like the first book I mentioned. I'm going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to random generate our first number. The first number is 61. Book number 61 on my list was The Murders of Molly Southbourne by Tade Thompson. This is a very short horror novella about a girl named Molly who has to kill all the other girls named Molly. That's all I'm going to say about it because it is very short. That's all I knew going into it. And I think if you like The Murders of Molly Southbourne, you will like The Only Good Indians by Stephen Graham Jones. The Only Good Indians follows 4 American Indian men after a disturbing event from their youth puts them in a desperate struggle for their lives. The reason I'm putting these two together is because they both have kind of supernatural elements. That's all I'm going to say about it. But they both kind of have the same feeling for me, and that's why I think if you like one, you would like the other. Random number 2 is 47. Number 47 on the list is Book Love by Debbie Tung. This is just a short little graphic novel that doesn't rely very heavily on words. It's all about what it's like to love books. And I think if you like this book, you would like Fangs by Sarah Anderson. This is a short little graphic novel about a werewolf and a vampire who fall in love. Thematically, they are not very similar, but I feel like the art style and the storytelling using less words and relying very heavily on picture are very similar. And I think if you liked that kind of storytelling, relying heavily on images, you would like both of these. Random number 3 is 24, and number 24 on the list is Amberlough by Elena Donnelly. This is an urban fantasy book that follows 3 main characters, one who is a smuggler, one who is a government agent, and one who is a dancer at like this burlesque club, as the city that they live in is kind of starting to fall apart, and there's an unfair election that is on the way, and they're trying to figure out how to save themselves and their city. Honestly, my first instinct with this book is to say, if you like Amberlough, try The City We Became by N.K. Jemisin, or the other way around, if you like The City We Became, try Amberlough. And I think it's just because they both focus so heavily on the city aspect. In The City We Became by N.K. Jemisin, the city of New York is about to undergo an awakening, and each of the boroughs of New York is personified in a person, and they are trying to bring this awakening to pass. The connection I have between these two books in my brain could just be because they are both urban fantasy, and I don't normally read a whole lot of urban fantasy, but I do think in both of these books, the city plays a very big role. In The City We Became, the city is literally characters in the book. In Amberlough, the city almost feels like an additional character because of how heavily it influences the actions of these people, and honestly just how much time they spend talking about the different areas of the city and the different characteristics of the different areas of the city. Okay, I think we're on random number 4 now, which is 46. Entry number 46 on the list is Whichwood by Tahereh Mafi, which is the second book in a series. The first book is Furthermore. I'm going to go ahead and read part of the synopsis for the first book so you kind of get an idea what this is about before I tell you which book I think you would enjoy if you like this one. The synopsis says, There are only 3 things that matter to 12-year-old Alice Alexis Queensmeadow: mother, who wouldn't miss her, magic and color, which seem to elude her, and father, who always loved her. The day father disappears from Farronwood, he takes nothing but a ruler with him. But it's been almost 3 years since then, and Alice is determined to find him. She loves her father even more than she loves adventure, and she's about to embark on one to find the other. The book that I would think you like, if you like either Furthermore or Whichwood, is Arusha and the End of Time by Roshani Chokshi. This is a book that follows Aru, who, in an attempt to impress some kids from school, ends up rubbing an ancient lamp and setting a demon free. And she has to go on an adventure to try to save her family and the world. These 2 books are both middle grade. They both feature 12 or 13-year-olds going on adventures to try to save their family, and I really think if you like one of them, you would like the other. Random number 5 is 44. Book number 44 is Upon a Burning Throne by Ashok K. Banker. This is an epic fantasy that follows as 2 disabled boys are found fit to rule their empire. And right after they are found fit to rule, a girl is put upon the throne and also found fit to rule the empire by the Burning Throne. After the girl is found fit to rule, she's then dismissed and war ensues. This book follows a multitude of different characters as this war is occurring, and there's a lot of political intrigue. And that is why I think if you like Upon a Burning Throne, you would like Furies of Calderon by Jim Butcher. Furies of Calderon is the first book in a series by Jim Butcher that is kind of told as the Roman legions meets Pokemon. There is like this elemental magic, and the thing I think that really connects it with Upon a Burning Throne is it follows a number of different characters, and there is a lot of political intrigue, and that is why I think if you like one, you would like the other. Random number 6 is 29. Entry number 29 on the list is A Year Without a Name by Cyrus Grace Dunham. This is a memoir that essentially revolves around gender transition and Cyrus's experience with transitioning. And I think if you like this memoir, you would like Somebody's Daughter by Ashley C. Ford. Thematically, they're really not that similar, besides the fact that they're memoirs, but I feel like they are both written in a very similar way, that they are some of the most relatable memoirs I have ever listened to. And that's why I think if you like one, you would like the other, just because of the writing style, really, and how the author took their own unique experience in both of these books and made it more relatable to me as I was listening than some of the other memoirs I have read, even though a lot of the experiences discussed are things I have never been through. Random number 7 is 49. Entry number 49 is The Prince and the Dressmaker by Jen Wang. This is a super adorable graphic novel that follows a dressmaker who goes and makes dresses for the prince. And it's honestly just super adorable. And I think if you like this, you would like Moonstruck. Any of the volumes, obviously start with volume 1 so the story makes sense, but Moonstruck is a graphic novel series that again is super adorable, and it follows this magical town that has a lot of different magical people in it, and the things they go through, including like fighting evil, but also just like normal magical life stuff, like magical breakups and magical dating and things like that. And they're just both very cute, and that's why I think if you like the one, you will like the other. Also, both of these books feature LGBTQ characters, so they're both adorable and heartwarming, as well as representative of members of the LGBTQ community. Random number 8 is 54. Entry number 54 is The Everything Box by Richard Kadrey. This is a book that follows as an angel is about to destroy Earth, and he's pulling out the instrument to destroy Earth out of his pocket and realizes he lost it. So we follow him as he's trying to find this instrument of destruction so he can destroy the earth. I think if you like this book, you would like Good Omens by Neil Gaiman and Terry Pratchett. Good Omens follows an angel and a devil as the world is about to end, and they are actually trying to prevent the end of the world because they decided they kind of like Earth. While these two books are kind of opposites, they are very similar. They both kind of rely on humor, and they're both a little bit more satirical. And I think if you like Good Omens, you would like the Everything box, and if you like the Everything box, you'd probably like Good Omens, as they have very, very similar vibes. Random number 9 is 40. Book number 40 is How to Live Safely in a Science Fictional Universe by Charles Yu. This is a story about a man who is searching through space-time to try to find his father. Charles Yu, the main character, who is named after the author, is a time travel technician. When he is not helping people save themselves from time travel disasters, he's attempting to find his father using time travel, and also visiting his mother who's stuck in a 1-hour time loop. I think if you liked How to Live Safely in a Science Fictional Universe, you would like Before the Coffee Gets Cold by Toshikazu Kawaguchi. This book is about a cafe in which time travel is possible if you sit in the right chair and follow all of the rules. And the reason I think you would like Before the Coffee Gets Cold, if you like How to Live Safely in a Science Fictional Universe, or vice versa, is not only because of the time travel element, but because they both are books that are about time travel and about the story in the book, but also they feel like they are about more. There is a lot of subtext, I feel like, in both of these books that you can just enjoy the story, but if you want to, you can kind of dive in and read a little bit more into it. I'm not trying to be like your high school English teacher and say that every book has all this implied subtext, but both of these books do feel like there's a little bit more than what's on the surface. And lastly, random number 10 is 85. Entry number 85 on this list is Contest by Matthew Reilly. This is a book that follows a doctor who gets pulled in against his will to an interspecies contest where the last person alive wins. Basically, this contest happens once every 1,000 years. The aliens who come and participate in the contest know about it, and the humans who always get dragged into it do not. And it is kind of like Hunger Games, where it's just a fight to the death, and who the last person alive is the winner of that year, but with aliens. And also, this was published long before Hunger Games was. The first book that actually comes to mind that you might like if you liked Contest is actually Recursion by Blake Crouch. I don't remember a whole lot about it right now, so I'm going to read you the synopsis real quick. And the synopsis says, reality is broken. At first, it looks like a disease, an epidemic that spreads through no known means, driving its victims mad with memories of a life they never lived. But the force that's sweeping the world is no pathogen. It's just the first shockwave unleashed by a stunning discovery, and what's in jeopardy is not our minds, but the very fabric of time itself. I think the reason that this comes to mind is I remember in Recursion a sense of almost unwillingness on behalf of one of the main characters to be involved with this whole situation. And that is also the feeling that you get when reading Contest. As this doctor is pulled into this contest, he has his child in his arms. He has like a 4-year-old daughter that he's holding when he is pulled into this contest. So his daughter ends up coming with him, and he does not want to be there, obviously. So the whole story is him trying to fight and survive and make sure nothing happens to his little girl. As I said, I don't remember a whole lot about Recursion right now, but I do remember getting the feeling of the character having a similar attitude about it. Not because there was a kid involved, but because he just didn't want to do it. And he was only doing it because he was trying to fight and survive for himself and for his family. And it wasn't altruistic. It wasn't like, I'm gonna go save humanity and be a hero. It was very grudging and like, I have to do this even though I don't want to. That is a feeling I remember having while reading Recursion, and that is why I think if you like Contest, you would like Recursion, and if you like Recursion, you might like Contest as well. That was my If You Like This, Try That rapid fire edition. Let me know some books you would recommend based on any of the books I mentioned in this video. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!